Right, it is recording. Okay. I like that. I like the way that does. Why has got such Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Got about 10:13 on my phone. They should be here in about 2 minutes, everybody. I'm assuming y'all have already had one class, right? So this is the second one. That 8 o'clock class is tough. I have it in the fall. I have it 8 o'clock at the campus and then 8 o'clock here on Saturday morning. It gets old. I don't think our weather affected us like it did up north. Possibly tomorrow might have some storms or something, but nothing bad, I don't think.
Like I said, next week it's supposed to be bad here.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really cold. I saw that. Yeah, like frigid. Yeah, my son's in Michigan and it's 1 degree there.
Oof.
And it's snow everywhere. I mean, it's just unreal.
Yeah, I used to live in Idaho and school would
You
not be canceled for some snow.
Yeah, I know. It's totally different world, when you live in it. Whereas we
Very.
don't. Down here we don't really know what to do when it I know what to do, go outside and get in it, but I don't know
Mm-hmm.
about driving in it.
No, not driving.
Yeah. All right, I've got exactly at 10:15 on my clock on my phone. Do you have that on your phone?
Yes.
Okay, because on my computer, for some reason, all my computers don't have the right time. I've never noticed that before. That is so strange. It's like 10:03 or 10:06. It's like, what? So strange. I've never noticed it not keeping perfect time. That's weird. I don't know what happened. I see that they're in here now. All right, let me go ahead and make sure I've got everybody counted present. There are, let's see, 6 of you, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I believe everybody is here. We have Sailor and Cheyenne. They'll turn their cameras on. We'll get started. So, welcome back. This is the second class meeting of EDU's RDE 454. This is children's literature and adolescent literature. You've all been working very hard. Assignments have been coming in very well done. I'm just really impressed with all the work. The only thing that I want us to do first is I'm going to share my screen with you first because I want to share this with you. Now, usually or in the past, I have done this assignment in class. But due to time reframe and the fact that we don't meet every week, it puts us off in terms of what I do in a regular class. And so you've been reading, or you are going to be reading, I don't know which it is, on illustrations and children's books and uh, how everything affects those books. In fact, children maybe cannot read those books, but they can certainly read the pictures. And so illustrations become very important in children's books. It is one of the things you look for. Did the illustrator really convey the meaning of the story in the book? So we're going to look at an illustrator. Her name is Molly Bang. I don't know if you're familiar with the books, but she has a series of books about I cannot think right now what her name is. It's in the module. Hold on just a minute. Let me pull this to the side. Um Hang on the wrong week. There we go. Yeah. She has when Sophie thinks she can't, or when Sophie gets angry. There's a whole series of books. If you'll go in your school library, you'll see these, and they are. I believe she won a Caldecott Award for her illustrations. But she really sat down and thought about how important illustrations were. And today we're going to look at one of her books that she wrote about illustrations. I'm going to share it with you. And what I want you to do in your free time, which I know you just have loads of free time, but you're going to create a scary picture. And you say, well, how am I going to do that? Well, you're going to use, of course, scissors and glue. Get some of your main geometric shapes like your circle, your square, your triangle, your rectangle, and create a scary picture. So let me see. Let me see if I can show it to you. Okay, so this is one they created in class the other day. And she said, well, it doesn't look very scary, but you get the idea here. And you'll see when we look at this book together in just a minute. And then here's one here that one student made. It's just a spider, you know. And I've had some that really, really were kind of scary. These were not as scary, but I want you to just create that picture. And all you have to do is take a picture of it and just upload it into the box. But today we're going to look first at this book because I think it's very important. And I want you to know more about Miss Bang and what she believed in and how she created these stories using geometric shapes. So we're going to go straight to the module. I'm going to share out, and you should be able to see it. I'm going into creating pictures. You can't see that right now, but I'm going to go ahead and publish it. And this is the Dropbox, and it does tell you, it says during class, but we're not doing this during class. It does tell you that you only need 4 colors. You need a red, a black, and a white, and a purple piece of construction paper. You need, you can choose like a yellow background, something that's different than those colors. And then yeah, it does say yellow construction paper. And then you cut those geometric shapes out and make your picture. And then you just upload it to the Dropbox. But before we do all that, I want us to take a look at this particular book that I'm talking about. And I thought it was there, but it's not. It's in the other module. So I'm going to come back out. And we're going to find that in just a minute. Where is that at? It's wrong place. I believe it's in week 3. Yeah, how pictures work. Okay. And so here is the actual book that she wrote about this. And she just has a very clear, she gives you a very clear picture. I don't think this is what I want. Maybe it is. I don't know. Yes. Okay. So this is the front cover of the book that you see. Can you see, by the way, can you see my screen, everybody? Yes. Okay. Excuse that. Let's get that out of the way. So the name of the book is Picture This, How Pictures Work. And so you can right off the bat tell that she is using geometric shapes. And we're going to say, first of all, if I can just work this without hurting your eyes, this right here is a picture of a triangle. And she goes right off the bat and gives this triangle a name, and it is Little Red Riding Hood. This is the story of Little Red Riding Hood. She is going to tell it using geometric shapes. And so she first begins with a red triangle as Little Red Riding Hood. She then decides to add the mother. She makes the mother bigger than the little girl, of course, and you can see the size, how she did that. She also talks about, I wish there was a different way I could do this. It doesn't want to cooperate with me. Let me go
Miss
down.
Snellgrove, I sent you a direct message real quick. My infant just got sick, so I'm about to go help my mama real quick for about 2 minutes. I can still hear you through my headphones, though.
That's fine. That's fine. I understand. You cannot help that. I hope she's okay. Now, the next picture is, I hate when it does like that. Hold on, guys. Well, that is just not working. I don't like this. Let's see. Maybe we can try it on this. Can you hear? Can you hear it? Okay. Hang on.
We can't hear anything like the video.
Everything? Okay, thank you. Hold on. That's not good. Hold on. Let me come back over here. And let's stop the share. Stop the share. All right, let me try one more time. Hang on. All right, that's why. We got to click share sound. Okay. Share Zoom windows, share toolbar. Okay, whatever. Okay, so we're going to share this quickly. I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing because you can go back and watch it on your own, but I do want you to see what is going on here. Let me know when you can see this. Can everyone see?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm going to turn it back on. Let's see here.
She shows us a simple triangle and asks us, do we feel anything for this shape? She adds another and asks, again, reminding you that she's trying to construct the story of Little Red Riding Hood. How can I make her less overwhelming, meaning the mother, and more huggable? So we have two shapes, mother and daughter. She changes the shapes. How can I keep her large but give Little Red Riding Hood prominence in the picture? The color changes. How do we feel about the mother now? And here she discusses the way that shapes and colors have the power to affect us emotionally. And she progresses again back to the story. She wants to keep it as simple as possible. But these shapes were a little too close to the shapes of Little Red Riding Hood and her mother. She wanted to create a sense of depth. And we should ask ourselves, how is this accomplished through simple lines? She places Little Red Riding Hood in the woods itself. But what can we do to Little Red Riding Hood, only to the triangle, to make the picture feel even scarier? We can make it smaller. What happens when we make objects proportionately more smaller? But of course, we need to make room for the wolf. But the picture didn't feel as scary as before. Why not? How can she make the trees feel more threatening? Here we go. Diagonal lines give a feeling of movement or tension to the picture.
It's amazing what it does to the picture, isn't
And
it?
here's our wolf.
Yeah, look at that.
Why do these triangles look so scary?
Sharp points.
And she says, but I feel differently when the wolf is made much smaller. Or the points are changed to curves. Somehow this wolf doesn't look so threatening anymore. Or if we change the color of the wolf to a paler color. She asks, what are the features of wolves that make them so frightening to us? The
Just
teeth,
put some
of course.
teeth in there.
What else does the wolf need in order to look more wolfish? But even if we shade the wolf's eyes a pale blue, it still doesn't look quite right. There we go. What happens if the eye is made exactly the same color as the shape of Little Red Riding Hood? So now we have a connection between the two, and the gaze shifts from the wolf to Little Red Riding Hood, all through the change of the color itself. But this isn't always effective. This picture feels very different. And yet all that has changed is the shape of the eye. How does it feel different to you?
Watch what bread does to your diet goals.
Okay, I'm going to stop the share because I know we're getting long with this. But I wanted you to see that. I wanted you to see that video, and you can go and watch the whole thing. It's not very long, but it tells you how she creates pictures using shapes. And it's amazing how you can make a picture with shapes. And this is a part of, I'm sorry, I'm getting this message here. Okay, weird. All right. But anyway, you can see how you can create a picture and using only geometric shapes and what you come up with. Okay, there's no wrong answer. Whatever you do will be fine. I'm not asking you to be an artist. I'm just asking you to experiment using the shapes to create a picture. And we can clearly see how she used the illusions of shapes to create the story of Little Red Riding Hood. It was almost as if, to me, that it was actually the actual characters there instead of geometric shapes. So that is something you can do on your own. We won't have time to do it in class, but that's okay because it's a very simple thing. I mean, it's just putting some paper together and creating a picture. So that's where we are with that. And the next thing we're going to do is you have been working on an assignment on your own, which was where you went in and did research on a particular genre. I think you each had so many to do. So today I'm going to put you in your groups, and the idea is that you will combine your information into a slide and prepare to explain those genres to everybody. You can have one spokesperson or you can have three, whatever you want to do. If each person wants to talk about their genre, that is fine. Okay, but the idea here is that you get together and you come up with the complete picture of your genres that you had to do. For your colleagues that didn't work on these genres, everybody worked on their own, okay, in each group. So this time I'm going to have to go back in and check to see. I didn't think about this at the time. I think I can do it without that. Hold on just a minute. I want to look at one thing to make sure I put you in the right groups. That would be terrible if I did. And I'm going to go ahead and put you in your breakout rooms so you can get started. And we will hopefully get to a finishing point with this today. So there it is right there. And I think the groups are already listed in this box. Are they not? I know I listed them somewhere. Let's see. Okay, where are they? How this project works is probably there. Okay, so where are we? There we go. All right, so it'll be Gracie, Sailor, and Amaya in group 1, and then it'll be Allie, Renisha, and Cheyenne in group 2. Are there any questions before we begin? Y'all pretty clear on it? Good. All right, so I'm going to get you into your groups. And is your baby okay? Let me ask. Is she okay?
Yes, ma'am. She's upset. She got diagnosed with strep this week, and we also found out she's allergic to chicken. So we're just going through a whole array of mess.
Yes, I bet you are. Rough stuff there. Okay, let me get to where I'm supposed to go to here. I just want to put you in breakout rooms. Here we go. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. Okay, I don't want that. Be kind. Okay, breakout rooms. So we need 2 breakout rooms, and I will assign you manually. So I'll put you in the right room, okay? So the first room is room 1, and I'm going to put Gracie in there. And then I'm going to put Sailor in there. And then I'm going to put Amaya. That is group 1. And in group 2, it will be the next 3 of you. So I'm going to send you on to your breakout room. It is 10:24. And we leave here at 11:30. So I'm going to say, let's see, that's 10:24.
It's 10:33.
Oh, it is?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Thank you. That was me and the stupid computer. Okay, 10:33. So let's try to shoot back here at 11 or 11:15. Let's make it 11:15. Okay? I'll give you the all call to come back. Okay? And I've opened all the rooms. Okay, students have now broken down into their breakout rooms. They are working on a group project, and they've already worked on this project on their own. They are now going to come together and make a slide where they are talking about their genres that they worked on. So hopefully we will be back about 11:30 or 11:15 probably, where they will present out. I will be checking on them in a minute or two. I'll let them first kind of get in there and work on their own, and then I will go in and check and see how they're doing. Okay. So I'm going to give them a few minutes to work on that as they are getting in their groups and getting started. And then I'll go in and kind of listen at each area. Let's see. I'm trying to close out this box. Okay. Very good. 14. Yes.
We have a quick question. Do you just want one person to turn in our PowerPoint?
Oh, good question. I want each of you, as you turn into the Dropbox, turn in your PowerPoint and turn in that individual work you did last week on that genre or on those genres you did, okay? So you'll turn in your individual paperwork that you just completed, and you'll turn in, everybody will turn in the same PowerPoint in your group. You just turn it
Okay.
into your Dropbox. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah, so we have Renisha who's going to put all of our stuff into the PowerPoint. We're going to PDF our stuff to her, and she's just going to copy and paste what we've done and put it into the PowerPoint. And
Right.
then you just want her to send us a copy of the PDF,
Yes.
of the PowerPoint, and we just all turn it in.
Turn that same thing in.
Okay.
Yes.
Allie,
But
did you have any questions?
do not,
No, that was it.
yeah,
Okay.
do not forget to send in what you did individually, like that
Yes.
paper you filled out, send that in
Yes.
too with your
Okay.
PowerPoint or whatever. Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. Good question. All right, I will leave you and I will go ask
All right. Thank you.
if the other group has any questions, because that can definitely. Okay, what am I doing here? I've joined it. I want to get out. This is always problematic because if I close all rooms, that's not going to work. Hold on. Oh, here it is right here. Okay, I'm just going to leave the breakout room.
Miss Amelia.
Yes.
Okay, just to be clear, on our slide, it's just one slide.
Yeah, you can just do one slide, but you're just going to have a composite of what you found out on those genres. You will each report out what you found out on your genre or whatever you reported on.
So for each of our genre, maybe put like the definition of it, like maybe just one of the authors, one of the good
Yes,
book,
that
like
is
good
fine.
things.
That is
Okay.
fine. Just condense it down. You don't have to put everything on there.
Okay, that's
I mean, if you do, that's fine. But yeah, I would just do like one author, one website, definition, and what else did it ask for? Maybe how it's used in the classroom. I think that was a big thing.
ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Another thing, let me mention this because the other group just asked this question. It's very, very good. When you get ready to turn this in, you each will turn in the same PowerPoint or slide that you've all done together, okay? You'll drop that in
So
this
we
Dropbox.
we won't turn in the actual sheet that we did.
Yes, you're going to turn in your sheet that you worked on by yourself last week. You're going to drop it, and you're going to drop your group presentation in that Dropbox. You'll each have to
In the
do
same
that.
one.
Yes, the same one, the one you all create together.
Okay.
You each will do that. You will each drop it into the Dropbox along with your individual work that you worked on. So you'll really be dropping two things in that Dropbox. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, but next time before class, like I would prepare myself because I'm not even gonna lie. I did not like look over this part. How I usually do my work is from the dashboard instead of going into the modules to so that's my fault.
Yes, and that is a good lesson to learn because if you don't go in these modules, you'll never know what's happening during the week. If you just stay, some people just stay on the calendar, and that is a problem in itself because you don't see everything that's there. And it's almost really and truly like a course shell now is a textbook. Do you not feel that way? Because that's what it is. It becomes the textbook. It becomes a living textbook. So yeah, that's all you have to do. You did your work on your genre, didn't you? Did you look up your information?
I believe I did.
Yeah. So really and truly today is really more just putting that all together in one document. So you really are not behind or anything. I mean, you've got the information. I would condense it down though to like listing maybe, I know I think you had to have 5 on your paper. Didn't you have to have 5 websites or 5 authors for your whole okay, I've got my hand up, that thing went up. But anyway, for your presentation purposes, I would list maybe one author, one website, one
One
definition. You know what I mean? And then put all your information, all 3 of you on there, but I would condense it down because nobody wants to sit there and read all that. You've already done the background work. So,
Okay, so for each of our sheets, I think we should just type up our little like a little not paragraph, but like a overview of our sheets, but like do one and one and
yeah.
one.
Yes,
And
I would
then
just
we can
report back on.
and then we can send it in the chat. Because Gracie, you're doing the slide, aren't you?
Yes.
And then we can send our email so that you can email us the slide.
Oh, I don't want
Yes.
to leave meeting. Cancel. This is very tricky. I'm trying to leave y'all, okay? If you have any other questions, send them to me, okay?
Do I have time to go to the restroom real quick?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
The others haven't got here, so it's fine. Bless you.
Thank you.
You had to give me one I really had to think on. You couldn't give me fantasy.
It always falls like that, doesn't it?
I was like, hold up now.
You don't get the one that you want, you get the other one.
The one that you need to learn more about. I know. But I was like, I really had to dig for
Yeah, there you go.
Lord bless
Well,
it.
at least you'll know about it now, right?
Yeah, I know about it now.
Well, this is just really about getting to know the genres. And also, this is a good assignment because you see a lot of the books that you could possibly use in your annotated bibliography through the searching of these genres. So it kind of works both ways. Well, welcome back, everybody. I hope that was beneficial and you got something out of this assignment. It's not busy work. It is intentional. And hopefully it will address the issues of learning about the genres because as a teacher, you need to know about all of them. It's according to what grade level you teach. I would think in that middle grades area, understanding those genres are very important because you have to really know how to make those assignments to those kids because they only respond to what they're interested in a lot of times. Whereas in elementary school, reading picture books is just easy breezy, in my opinion. All right, so enough of that. So if we could get group 1 to present out for us, if you could just share with us, you can share your screen and then share your slide or whatever, and then kind of walk us through it. If there's all 3 of you talking, that's fine, whatever you want to do.
Am I in group 1?
I'm going to
Yes.
see, honey. I had to look.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
we're
group
Yeah,
one.
Gracie is group 1, Gracie and Sailor and Amaya.
Okay. So I have my project on my computer. I'm going through Zoom on my iPad. So is it okay if I just read it?
Sure.
I can see my screen if I need
Can
to.
someone else share it out, maybe?
Did
I
you
can share
email
my
it to us,
screen.
Gracie?
I
Oh.
did. I did.
You can check your Google Drive.
Are you going to do it, Amaya?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, you can talk us through it and one can share it. How about that? Will that work? I mean, I don't care.
I can talk since you're sharing my.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if y'all see this Zoom thing.
We can see it.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm up there.
This is the traditional literature. I believe Sailor had traditional literature.
Yes, I did.
Did you want me to talk it out or you have it?
No, I can read it. I gotta
Okay.
zoom in really quick. Okay, so I had traditional literature. It's made up of very old stories that were first told out loud and later written down. So it's really like epics, legends, mythology, stuff like that, folk tales, and they tell us about culture and stuff like that. Oops, did I do that?
No, I'm
It's
trying to
okay.
get it to
Just click back on there. It was okay.
What happened?
There it comes.
I'm trying to get it to go smaller.
Y'all help her out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can be so tricky.
Oh,
I can read it
Let's
from
see.
this.
there it is.
There you go.
Okay, so one quality title that I did was the Chronicles of Narnia. When I was a kid, I loved those movies, but that is a very known series, and it's full of legends and or myths and mythical creatures and stuff like that. And then an author known for this genre is Homer, and that is something I remember doing in high school. I wouldn't say for elementary, but it said one known author, so I just did him
Sure.
because he's one I know, like, was very famous for that. And then the website I did was Read, Write, Think, and it's full of folk tales and traditional literature. And it has like all kind of books and authors that you can search and
Wow.
get information on. And then the application in a classroom. So traditional literature builds background knowledge and expands academic vocabulary through cultural narratives. And it supports oral language development and discussion-based learning. And it allows students to increase their comprehension strategies, such as identifying themes, character traits, and cause and effect relationships.
Very good.
Did I do that right?
You did it right. You did it right.
Nope.
No wrong. No, nothing wrong there.
Good deal.
All right. The next genre.
So I had poetry. Poetry is the expression of ideas and emotions through precise imaginary words that were carefully selected. Poetry is usually oral and recited, but my titles were No More Homework, No More Test by Bruce Lanks. Like, I'm not even gonna try to say that name.
It's okay.
Little Red Riding Hood by Trina Hyman.
Mm-hmm.
And then my website, we use this one a lot at school, is Scholastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then how it's used in the classroom. Poetry helps build language and literacy skills. It helps students hear the rhyme, rhythm, and repetition patterns in language. Poems are short, but they have a lot of meaning, which makes them perfect for practicing theme and author's purpose. Poetry can be used as a safe outlet for emotions. It can also help teachers teach diverse authors that represent different cultures and to your students.
Yes, excellent. Always. And listen, if you're in a pre-K classroom and they're not doing nursery rhymes, you need to get in there and start doing nursery rhymes every day, because that is how phonemic awareness builds in children, is hearing those nursery rhymes. I cannot express to you how important that is, especially in that pre-K zone. I hope you do nursery rhymes every day. So important. All right, next is fantasy and fiction.
Okay, I had fantasy and science fiction. My definition was fantasy and science fiction and genres that focus on imaginative stories that go beyond real life experiences. Fantasy includes magical elements, mythical creatures, and imaginary worlds, while science fiction explores futuristic ideas, advanced technology, and scientific possibilities. My quality titles were The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle, and we use epic sometimes in pre-K. And then how it's used in the classroom. The Very Hungry Caterpillar fits the fantasy genre because it shows an animal doing things that wouldn't happen in real life, like eating different foods and talking through the story. In the classroom, this book helps children practice sequencing, building vocabulary, and understanding story structure through a fun and I cannot say that word. Imaginative.
You
Read
got it.
aloud.
You got it. Yes, that is on point. Those books are so important to our children in pre-K through, I would go all the way through second, because they tell a story, and it's important for them to see the pictures in the story, and they're based, like you said, on fantasy, and it gives kids, I don't know, it just creates a whole new world for kids, and you just can't read enough of that to them, especially Well, all throughout school, really. Everybody needs a little imagination, right? All right, second group, if you'll present out, please.
Renisha is the one that's going to have to share her screen.
Okay.
So I'm not done with our slide, but we each of us have our genre book, and I'll go first.
Okay.
I was having some technical difficulties.
That's okay. That you handled it right. There's no worries in that, hun.
Each of us have our genre.
Yeah.
So
what you looked up. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Let me go to
that'll work.
I'm lagging. Bear with me. I'm lagging a little
You're
bit.
fine. You're fine.
Going to my Google. I'm coming. Trying to get my Google Doc to open.
Are you just sharing your sheet you filled out?
Yes.
I can see if I can share mine real quick.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
So the genre I had was historical fiction, and historical fiction is a literary genre where the story takes place in the past. So basically, historical novels. A book that I really like, and I think we all may have read it, was the author Laura Ingalls.
Little House on the Prairie.
Like Little House on the Prairie. And basically, what she wanted to do, she was in touch with the past, and she wanted kids to be able to relate, or compare the past events like Perry, Little House on the Prairie, which now in picture books we really don't see Little House on the Prairie anymore. So basically, she was comparing. The next author that I talked about was Christopher Paul Curtis, and he wrote a couple books, some of them called Farmer Boy. And the grade level that my genre would most likely be aligned with is middle school. And my genre, it would be aligned with middle school because historical fiction can support literacy in many ways, and it can help students build background knowledge and compare time frames in different eras.
Yes. Very important. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Next person.
Okay. Oh, you can go, Allie.
Okay. I had realistic fiction. The definition was it tells imaginary stories that could happen to people and animals in a believable setting. Characters act like real people, events follow logical cause and effect, and the plot avoids fantasy and supernatural elements. The website was Reading Rockets. It's like a website you can look up any book in any genre and just find books that fit the genre. A book that some of the books was The Snowy Day by Ezra, and then Owl Babies by Martin. And then I did like K through second, and I said it supports vocabulary development through picture cues. It supports background knowledge by telling stories about everyday experiences.
Very much so. Very much. Yes. And Cheyenne, you're going to end it up for us?
Yes, I am. So I was given informational books and biographies, which are
you
not.
didn't like that. That was not her forte.
I had to really deep dive into this.
That's probably the hardest one because I don't think anybody really loves that. I mean,
but I did find a lot of cool things about it, looking more into it. So the definition for this basically is that these texts help teach students about real facts about the world. Biographies focus on the life of a real person and their impact. A really engaging example that I found for my books, let me scroll back down to this one, was a picture book of Martin Luther King. You know, we just had that holiday pass by, and if I had known about it sooner, we would have brought it up some to my kids last week. But it's about his life, and it's by David A. Adler. and it presented an important historical figure in a way that was really good for young children. Showed about what he was for, what the leadership he went through with life. And then another book that I found fun that I'm going to share with my kids next week is Animals Nobody Loves by Seymour Simon.
Love that.
It's an engaging book because it talks about scary and unpleasant animals that you don't normally see, but it brings out a spark for the children's curiosity for discussion with, why don't you think someone doesn't like this animal? And so they talk about how it looks and how it might be scary, but in actuality, it's scary because it doesn't want a predator to eat it.
That's right. That is wonderful. They will love that.
I think they'll love it too, especially being in first grade.
Yeah.
And then my group target was K through 2 because they're visually acceptable for them. It's very simple text. The vocabulary is small, but it's clear and it's structured. For first grade, many books like May Among the Stars that support identifying the main topic and retelling keys, but it also has details for discussion, drawing, and shared writing about real life problems.
Yes. You just can't say enough about that genre. Yeah.
No, I did learn overall that it does help students learn facts. It helps them with higher vocabulary that's not a fantastical way of speaking. It's just true facts, statements. And it also helps them see real people as role models and less of, sadly, Cinderella, Disney, Frozen. They can relate more.
Right. Excellent job, ladies. Excellent, everybody. So that really concludes our class today. Before we leave, though, there is something that you'll work on next week, but it is broken down in a way where no one is carrying the whole chapter. I think you're going to have to do some work in chapter 4, but you're going to be assigned a section, and so you're not necessarily having to read the whole section or the whole chapter. You'll just have a small section to look at. So that's something that'll be out tomorrow afternoon probably. Are there any questions before we close out today? Okay. Everybody feeling good? Go ahead. You had a question?
Well, I just need to talk to you
after class
when everybody leaves. Yes, ma'am. If you'll just stay on for a minute.
Okay. So, if everything is, we're on point. Everything's on time with our class. We're moving right along. As I told you in the beginning, at first, we're going to stay in this children's literature, kind of talking about different literatures and all kind of stuff about literature. Then we're going to move into the comprehension and the vocabulary. And you're doing the writing assignment where you're reading the writing book on your own. You're answering some questions there. So as we move forward, it'll get more intense, but right now it's just easy breezy, okay? Any questions? All right, I'm going to let you go. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and thank you for participating and being willing to do what I asked you to do. See you later. You are dismissed.
Okay. So, and I don't care if anybody else hears this, but I just wanted to tell you, I will not be in class February 6th or February 7th, I believe, the next class meeting.
Okay.
Is there anything really important that we're going to be doing as an assignment like this that I can do ahead of time, or I just don't want to lose credit, but I'm in a Catholic wedding and we start getting ready at 8:20 in the morning. So I'm not going to be able to do any of my classes that day. Our pictures start at 12 and the ceremony starts at 2. So it's there's just no way.
Listen, let me tell you something. I don't even right now, I couldn't tell you what's on the agenda for that class meeting. But just because you have one absence, it is not going to deter your grade in any way. Okay. Do not worry about it, because technically if you're not in class, you can't, not unless you had an excuse from a doctor or from a death in your family. That's the only way you can be allowed an extension. So just don't worry about whatever we do in class. There'll be a recording of it and you can watch it to keep up. But as long as you're doing all your other assignments, you'll be fine.
Okay, so if there's like a submission though, like we had today,
No. So you wouldn't be
I
allowed
just
to
wouldn't be
do
able
it.
to do it,
You wouldn't
or
be able to do it because, see, you didn't have a legitimate excuse, which means you have to have a doctor's excuse or you have to have a
okay,
death in your
but it shouldn't
family.
count like it shouldn't count too much against me then.
No, it's not. It's not going to hurt your grade in a way where you're going to suffer.
Okay,
Because if even if it drops a little bit, the next assignment will bring it up. Okay? So
yeah,
don't
okay,
stress about that. Now, I will say this, if you were out again in the semester, then you might have a reason to worry. Although I think technically you could have 3 absences and still be okay. But you
yeah,
know
but
how it is.
I am Miss Amelia. I'm in 3 weddings in
Bless.
February, March, and April. And every day that like I have a bachelorette trip, a wedding shower, and a wedding, I have class on like 3 of those. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Anyways, and so I've just been so stressed, and I was like, well, I'm gonna get on class the days that I'm on the bachelorette trip, or I'm just gonna skip the wedding shower. But the wedding I cannot skip. So I was like,
No, no.
I was gonna tell
And
my teachers today.
you'll figure it out. And yet, like the next time you're in the wedding, you might have a more doable schedule. I
Yeah,
don't know. But I do know that that is a problem for people. But it's unfortunate they fell on the weekends of your classes. That's
I
what's
know.
unfortunate.
Well, the other two weddings are not on class, but like
Oh,
two of their like celebrations, like a shower and a trip for them did. And I was like, well, I'm sorry, guys. Like,
yeah. Well,
gotta do school.
you can work around that. You'll be fine. But
Yeah.
it is not something, because I don't even know how many. Now, this past assignment was big. It had 50 points, but I had to give you
Yeah.
points for doing work on your own and then coming to class and doing work. That's the only reason it was 50 points. The next assignment will not have that many points on it if, let's say, you didn't get to do it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Cause I did realize that it's like
yeah.
54 points. So I was like, oh
Yes,
God.
yes. And you were like, oh God, I don't want to miss 50 points. And I understand that. But normally a group assignment is not that much because of the fact that we
Okay.
have to do what we have to do. I don't care. I mean, it's not anything to do with me. It's just Thomas University's policy
Yes, ma'am.
on
Understand.
absences. I
Yeah.
mean, it is just really strict. And I don't have a problem with it personally. I understand, but I have to do what they tell me to do. So that's part
Yes,
of
ma'am.
it. But
Okay.
you'll be
Well, I
fine.
wanted to let you know. So if you don't see me or if you forget,
I'll
that's why I'm not in
Okay.
class.
All right, darling. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You have a
Yes, ma'am.
great rest of
Have
your
a good
day.
weekend.
You too. I'm going to try to get out of this
See.
class. There we go.